Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a figure that I have been waiting for quite a while for, because even with all the controversy, I knew that this figure might not be made for anybody else but me. So I cannot wait to dive into the Figuarts Gamerverse Spider-Man.
If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collecting. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. For more than 2 years now, Articulated Empire has become your trusted online retailer. They carry all the latest lines like Mythic Legion, Savage Crucible, Marvel Legends, NECA, and much, much more. They ship your items quickly and securely. You'll be quite happy how Steve and his team follow through with their care and attention. Articulated Empire also offers free shipping over $75 and no tax except for Illinois residents. So head over to articulatedempire.com today and build your empire.
All right, here is a closer look at the package board. We've got all the logos, Bandai Namco, SH Figuarts, big picture of Spider-Man right here. We've got the Marvel Gamerverse logo right here, which I honestly thought that Hasbro came up with this, and because I thought I'd only seen this on the Marvel Legends packaging, and I don't have Cyclops, so from this SH Figuarts set, so I didn't know. I thought this was a Hasbro thing, but apparently it's a Marvel thing. You've got your logos down here. Just about everything that you can, that he comes with is visible here in this package. We've got some artwork on this side, Spider-Man on this side, and then, a little write-up of everything. Not everything that he comes with. We just see the character. We see how you're supposed to display him with this big cardboard backdrop, the Spidey sense, the shield, more legal stuff. But man, we're not here for the box. Let's get this guy opened up. All right, we're going to start off with the little instruction sheet here. Shows you how to set up the cardboard backs, how to apply, use the little tool to get the little plug out of the back, to apply the little handle that holds the Spidey sense, how to turn the web shield into how to plug this little piece for the web shield. I can't read this, but I'm assuming this right here is letting you know that the waist piece is designed to pop apart depending on how high up you move the legs. Got some warnings. We have the hands, some points of articulation here, how to, change the hands and the heads for the various things. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We can figure it out. And then we do get 2 of these cardboard pieces for his web throw, and there it is. It's kind of set up like that. I don't know. Should we leave this up for the rest of the review, or is it gonna hinder us? It's okay. I'll probably put this back in the box and never use it again. Starting off with his largest of accessories, we do have this really nice web shield. Displayed like this. This was one of his signature moves in the game. It does have a little clear peg right there, and this little piece here that's super tiny is basically like a little handle that you can plug into this ball peg, and you can kind of move it around a little bit, and Spider-Man can actually hold this like an actual shield. So we'll see how that works later. We do get a web line for I guess you could use this for shooting, but actually it's made for swinging. So that's okay, I guess. We do get this little tool to sort of pry the little plug out of the back of his logo. We can do that now because I do want to show what that looks like. So we have a tiny little edge there that we can use to pry that out. It's a little more difficult than I expected it to be. And then this piece just plugs right in like that. I guess you can rotate that around. I don't know why you'd want it rotated any other way. And then you plug in the Spidey sense, and then That way you get Spidey sense this way. I guess if you wanted, you could rotate it the other way and have his Spidey sense be white as well. You could do that too if you wanted. But, you know, now that we've seen it, you know, we can kind of do away with that. Now that's lined up back in the proper position. As far as heads go, you can see that he does have two distinct, not really distinct, looks for his eyes. This one, the eyes are a little more angled down. These are a little more open. I think I would have just preferred to have these eyes and then these be like squinted. Personally, I don't like heads that are too similar to one another, and these are just too similar. He also comes with two punchies on him in the packaging, but out of the packaging, I should say. He does come with two splayed out wall, like gesturing hands. These, you know, could be wall crawling hands, but they're just straight fingered, straight splayed out. And then he does come with like some actual, what I would consider actual wall crawling hands, where the fingers are actually like bent as if they are pushing off. And I really like these. They're very exaggerated and very well sculpted. We do get two thwipping hands, of course. You can't have Spider-Man without those. And then we do get two, which you could use as like thumbs up hands, or these are actually designed for the web swing. So you can actually put the web in there and you can push it down quite a bit to where he can get a good grip on it. And that's in there really well. But we're here for the main event. Now, I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat why, for me, this is going to be my all-time favorite Spider-Man action figure. And what the reason why is several reasons why, honestly. Number one, this has a very distinctive cartoony aesthetic. You could say anime or Japanese anime aesthetic, because it is based on sprites that were designed by the Japanese side of Capcom for the video game. So he is going to have some very exaggerated features. I love the big broad chest, the broad shoulders, which you can, you know, collapse like this and make them smaller, or you can kind of rotate them out with the butterfly joints and kind of make them bulkier and a little more broad. The next thing that I love about this figure is that I love the bright, vibrant colors, the lighter blue, the bright red. I love the big round spider logo on the back. This is just, I just absolutely love the aesthetics of this. The thicker, beefier thighs, the silhouette that this figure cuts is just absolutely incredible to me. I mean, it does have the attitude and the swagger and the bulk, the exaggerated bigger parts and thinner parts of anime, of manga, of Japanese art, of, you know, just a cartoony, exaggerated look. I love that. Now, I'm going to see how far I can zoom in here and show you. So many people have been reporting this. So these web lines are sculpted, but also the web lines are painted on the inside with like a very dark red, so not a black. And again, I love that. I absolutely love that, because one of the things that happens when you have black lines painted on a face is, especially with all the intricate detail that Spider-Man has, is that it can get muddy. The spots start looking like this will look okay because the lines are further apart, but when you get in right around his nose and mouth, they're really tightly spaced and they're cramped, and all of that black in there can really start to jumble up and look muddy, and it can look nasty. And I prefer the look of this so much better. This is just, I mean, again, this is me. You can see here that this is not just painted, that those are raised lines. The spider is actually sculpted, as is the spider on the front of his logo, on the front of his chest is raised. It's just great. Now, people have made a lot of, fuss over this crotch piece. Does it look weird? Yeah, it does. It's not something that bothers me. I don't even pay attention to it, honestly. It's just not something that bothers me at all. This kind of bothers me a little bit. Like if you raise the leg up, you can start to see that this separates a little bit. And depending on how far you crunch it, it could separate quite a bit or barely any at all. This side has come apart completely. And let's see here if we do it. Yeah, like it's just sometimes it will pop out and then sometimes it doesn't. But it is designed specifically to pop apart right here to give you that extra movement, and you shouldn't be worried about it. Now, the articulation here is to me, is key, because everybody's going to want, they're like, okay, well, if you're giving us these weird cuts and these weird design choices for the joints, then how does it at least move? And boy, oh boy, does it move. Spider-Man can look all the way up, no doubt about it. Can look all the way down. Just looks great. All the tilt and bobble and expression you could possibly want with all of these ball joints in the neck. The butterfly joint, it is designed really to move the arm forward this way and not necessarily to move it back, because it almost feels like its back position is its neutral position. But you can see that the butterfly joint doesn't just rock left and right on the hinge. It's a ball joint. So the butterfly actually rotates up and down as well. The arm, forget about it. You're getting Y poses, not just T poses. We're going all the way up. We're getting higher than a T. Then you've got full rotation all the way, because this is a very generous ball joint. Bicep swivel. You're getting double jointed elbows, pinless. They're doing that thing where you've got the continuous joint in the elbow, like continuous joints in the knees. So that's fantastic. Hinge and swivel on the ball joint for the wrist. You've got an upper diaphragm joint that is super generous. You've got a little bit of a gap, so you do have to watch out for that. But this moves quite a bit. On its own, he's crouching forward that far. Then you've got this ball joint down here at the waist, which allows you, this is a really weird joint. Mine popped apart the other night, and now it's not. But you basically have a wedge shape right here that kind of angles up this way, so that when you arch him forward, there you can see it. You can see the gap where this gets covered for his lower back, and then there it is. Now it's going to come off pretty easy. You can see how the waist is at an angle right there, and the ball joint is facing forward. And this ball joint does not move. It is stationary. So you're not going to get like rotation at the waist. If you want rotation, you're going to rotate at the upper part of the diaphragm. That does break up this color paneling. If that's going to bother you, then, this may not be the figure for you. You've got a two-part joint system for the hip. So just standing straight up and down without crunching or anything, you can get the leg to go that far forward on this piece. It can go all the way back. That's ridiculous. That's wild. Then you've got your rotation at the upper part of the thigh, and then you've got thigh rotation. Is this an ugly joint system? Yeah, it's not aesthetically pleasing, because this is so much thicker than this piece, but it doesn't bother me. I don't know why this part just does not bother me. I can understand why this part is ugly to other people and why other people don't like this, but this does not bother me. Can go out to the side that far. You've got that continuous joint, just like the elbows for the knees, so the knees can go all the way back. It can go back that far, and it looks great. And if you combine this joint, and these joints together, then you're getting him crunched all the way over that way right there. And that's just ridiculous. That's so good. And see, now a minute ago, I couldn't get it to pop apart. Now it's popped off twice. No boot swivel, even though there's a great place for it. You do have these gold pins in the feet. I can understand why people would not like that. It's a little unsightly. And then you've got the nice little hinge. And then look at this. You have an extra piece down in the foot right there to cover up. And it is a separate piece so you don't get a lot of gaps in the ankles. You've got rocker and then even toe articulation. So does Spidey have the moves? Yeah. This Spider-Man has the moves. All right, so we've covered this figure, and now I want to bring out a few of my other Spider-Man figures that I consider to be some of the best out there. I'm going to start off with probably one of my favorite Marvel Legends, which is I believe this is the No Way Home final swing suit. I happen to think this is probably one of the best Marvel Legends figures that Hasbro has made of Spider-Man, especially from the movies. And to me, like in my eye, like before getting this SH Figuarts, this was one of my favorite Spider-Man. But now after seeing this one with the way the web lines are with the dark red, like to me, these black lines just look way thicker and way heavier to my eye than they ever did before, just by comparison. Next up, we have the Marvel Legends Maximum Series Spider-Man, which is, clearly more McFarlane with the darker colors and the lines, the tighter lines and the bigger eyes. But these are two of my favorites. But my two absolute favorites after, this guy being from the films is for a classic Spider-Man, we have the Marvel Legends. This is the cel-shaded one. I'm not sure what body this is. I don't know if this is the Renew Your Vows body, but this is the one I believe that came with maybe the Hydro Man 2-pack, if I'm not mistaken. And then finally, we have what I have previously considered to be the definitive Spider-Man, and that is the Mafex comic book version. I still think for the money and for a broader, wider, more general audience, this is still going to be the definitive Spider-Man. And don't get me wrong, there are still a few others that are really good. Like, I really love the Mezco Classics Spider-Man. I think he is great. Again, you've got the cloth suit here on this guy. The colors are really rad. I really like this guy, and this is how he stays on my shelf, with that head. I just love it. But for a broader, more wider audience, I still think this is going to be the one that attracts more people, because this one is definitely a niche. But for me, this will be the Spider-Man that stays on my desk, that I play with the most. Expect to see this guy around towards the end of the year, because I think he's going to hang on, and he's going to be one of my top figures of the year for sure. I can certainly see the reason why people are considering this to be one of the most controversial Spider-Man figures to release since the Maximum Series Spider-Man. I certainly understand the complaints that some people have. I've been telling my friends, like in our private conversations, that SH Figuarts might have just made this Spider-Man figure specifically for me and me alone. And that's fine. Like, if I could sit down with someone and design the perfect Spider-Man, this guy's pretty close to what I would come up with. I absolutely love this figure. I don't even know who I'm kidding. I can already tell you that every figure that has been released in 26 and every figure that will be released in 26 is going to have to compete with 9 different slots for my top 10 figures of the year, because this one is almost guaranteed to be in there. I absolutely love everything about this figure, but that doesn't mean that it's not without its faults. One of them, as you can see here, is that it's almost impossible to pose him in a way, in any kind of dynamic pose, that doesn't require a stand, which he does not come with, by the way. And the way the back is designed with the little peg that comes out, the little plug that covers the spider hole, you can't fit an SH Figuarts stand in there. It has a little slit, a little slot, without some sort of like customizing. You're not getting a standard peg just to fit in that hole to support him, and that's a little disheartening. I don't like the very obvious gold pin ankles. I don't know why that's a thing. It seems like they could have done without that, but outside of, and my other complaint is that the heads are too similar. Now, our good friends over at the Figuarts store have a couple of heads that I have already spied that actually work very well with this figure, and I'm going to be picking those up to make this guy even better. But then that's me paying, you know, $15 to $20 for 2 additional heads on top of the price that this guy cost, and he cost a pretty penny. This guy is coming in at $100. Now, I don't know what point we decided that $100 is the appropriate price for a figure, a 6-inch scale figure. I don't know when we started deciding that was standard, but man, if I'm gonna pay $100 for a Spidey figure, this is the one that I'm going to do it on. I am very happy to have my hands on this figure, and I do understand why people don't like it. You know, like, you guys don't have to point out all of the flaws in the comments. I do know. I get it. This might have been made just solely for me and people like me who like a very classic, cartoony aesthetic to their Spider-Man. But I want to know what you guys think about this figure, so sound off in the comments down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check us out over on Instagram, where I am sure to post more pictures of this guy and a pose video. This guy is just screaming for a pose video, and I haven't gotten a chance to do one in a while, so this guy is getting the next treatment. Let me know down below what you want to see out of this guy, and who do you want to see next in the Gamerverse lineup. We've got Colossus and Wolverine. I mean, we've got Cyclops, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. I guess it's maybe time that we get some more Capcom figures in there, right? Some more of the other side of the battle. So yeah, check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I'll see you in the toy aisles.